Good afternoon. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the City of Leominster. It's a little past 4 o'clock, about 6 minutes past 4 here. And today is the 7th of March, and this is our afternoon briefing. As always, 978-534-7500, extension 5055. If you have any questions at all, City Hall is open 8:30 to 4, 978-534-7500, extension 0, and all municipal buildings are closed to the public but open for you via every opportunity we can to assist you in any way possible. We've been busy on the phones, and all departments have been busy. And so, again, we're there to help you. And if you need anything, by all means, give us a call. Lots of the forms that you would typically come to City Hall for are online, and that's a big help. But if there's some reason that you can't find them, then by all means, let us know you can't find the right form or can't get the information into it. Let us know. So, I still don't have the new numbers yet, so I'm not going to read you the old numbers. But as soon as we get them, we should get them anytime now. I'll read them to you. Testing sites, again, there are more and more testing sites around the state. Shrewsbury's testing site, set up for those in public safety, has been moved. There's a new testing site in Lowell. We have two here in Leominster. One of them is Health Alliance, and the other one is Reliant. Same thing for both, and that is if you are not feeling well, call your doctor, get in touch with a doctor from somewhere, and let them know what's going on. They'll ask you a series of questions, and they may refer you to an exam and a test, and if that is the case, then they will need to email or fax the doctor's order to the lab so that they could proceed with the testing. It's by appointment in both cases, or at least at Reliant, and over at Health Alliance, the hours have been extended 8 to 4 Monday through Friday. The new testing sites, they have a new one running in Foxborough for public safety as well as Lowell. It's free of charge, but again, you can't just show up, even in public safety. You can't just show up. You need to have, again, be referred by a physician. $800 million are going to be infused into the healthcare system in Massachusetts, including hospitals, nursing homes, and other service providers. Enhanced guidelines and assistance for nursing homes, including rapid response teams, faster testing, and additional staff. What I understand now is some locations that do testing are set up, and they can generate test results in 15 minutes. So that's pretty quickly, so you'll know right away. Nursing home family resource number, 617-660-5399. For any family member of a nursing home patient that has a question or concern, you could call that phone number. The Baker-Polito administration is continuing to monitor the CARES Act. The Commonwealth will be receiving $2.7 billion. They have a goal of 750 to 1,000 field hospital beds and 1,000 step-down beds for those that can't be released from the hospital but can't go home. So if you've gotten better, but your symptoms are better and you've gotten better, they don't want to send you home necessarily, but that is the reason they set up the DCU center. I have a request in to the feds for 1,400 ventilators, and from what I understand, we have received some in the state of Massachusetts. Every day, more and more equipment is showing up in PPEs, personal protection equipment, and yesterday we got a shipment where it got also some thermometers, and it's all done priority, right? If you're at the front lines, then we're going to make sure you get that. And I swear it's a conspiracy. People call me, especially when they know I'm on. Anyway, so the faster we get it, we make sure it gets to all the right frontline employees and those in the medical world, and then we work our way back depending on the urgency and how much time you spend with the public. We're the third largest tester in the United States behind New York and Washington State, and again, the DCU Center and the Boston Convention Center are both field hospitals. The big push to get computers into the hands or electronic devices that can connect to the internet so that kids can explore and learn. And so, we'll learn a lot from the learning part of this, but I think what students are going to need for the next 3 or 4 weeks is, and maybe we can get sort of talk more about it on my show tomorrow night, but I think what kids need, at least this is what I would need, and I'm just, pretending to be a kid again, and what I would need is some structure, but maybe, an hour of classroom, home classroom, followed by a break with another hour, hour and a half of learning with another break, and sort of space it out during the day, and then maybe some sort of enrichment, maybe some fun, get out in the yard, run around, that sort of thing. I think that's what works best. But again, this is all new to most of us. If you've done homeschooling, you're part of Mom's Club, whatever it might be, you have a lot more experience with this than any of us. So it's always helpful to hear your ideas, and don't by all means, feel free to share those ideas with me at dmazzarella, leominster-ma.gov, and also you can message me on Messenger from Facebook. But it's interesting to hear what parents have to say who are doing this for the first time, assisted with teachers and schools, and also those that have done it for some time now. Be interested to hear your feedback on what a typical day is like. So, Comcast, getting kids connected to the internet. If you don't have internet access, okay, here we go. All right, so here we go. These are Leominster numbers. We have 30 current cases, but 15 have been released to quarantine for a total of 45. And we're still waiting on state numbers. And yesterday was 29 plus 12 off. So yesterday was 29 active, whereas today it's 40, today it's 30. So it went up 1, and there are 15 releases where there was 12 yesterday. So we don't see those huge numbers going up at this point. That isn't to say we sort of raise the white flags, but we've seen it go to 2 to 4, and then maybe 5 or 6, and we'll put a whole graph together. And the reason I give these numbers is because people are following it, and there's a big debate whether or not communities ought to be giving these numbers out, and what it does to people who hear the numbers. Do they hear it and say, geez, it's not bad around here, therefore we return back to somewhat of normality? Not the case at all, and we're not letting our guard down. I will tell you what it is good for. It is good to follow, because data is how we run the city, right? We do decision-making, data-driven decision-making. And so we use data to really make decisions that are important for everybody in the city. And so we've learned to do that because our resources are thin. And again, we want to gather that data so that we don't start every day of the week saying, I think this or I think that. We want the data to back it up. So we want to gather that data because we use it for planning. And as we get around the curve, we're going to have to start planning. We can't start planning for the recovery of all of this in terms of what it means to everybody. We can't start planning the day before or even a week before. We need to start planning. We're starting to plan now what that looks like and what it means. And so same thing in your home. Start looking out now. I mean, this is going to end, and and start thinking about what that sort of new looks like. And so yesterday I talked in the afternoon about making sure the schools are ready in case school opens on the 4th, if it opens the 15th, if it doesn't open at all. Do we go into a summer school kind of atmosphere? I'm not sure exactly what that looks like, but I know education is important. We stress that all of the time. And to have students go to school and get out sometime in March and have ended for the year is a tough thing. And to lose that all during the summer months is tough, not to mention students with special needs. It's been difficult to try to connect and find out. And so we're in week 4 now, and we really should be statewide and citywide connecting with those parents who have students that are special needs. They need that daily interaction. So if we can't offer them the same things that we offer them in school, then we've got to come up with another program or another platform to be able to interact with them somehow. So maybe it's a case of best practices. I think if you look around and you just do some Google searching, it looks like what happens in Michigan. Once governor does one thing in one place, then 5 others do the same thing, and on and on and on. And pretty soon, it looks like we're all doing the same things and we have states' rights where each state wants to sort of govern itself and have a decentralized government when it comes to the federal government. So anyway, we're trying to hook up as many students as we possibly can, not just for now or next month, but really forever. And you know, if you're a student and you get home and you're really into dinosaurs, or you're into zoos, or you're into mathematics, or whatever it is that's your passion, right? So you find your passion, you want to run with it, but you don't have internet connection and you don't have an electronic device in your house. Well, we're trying to get you hooked into internet, and we're trying to get you that electronic device. So Comcast is offering this program. It's called Comcast Essentials Program. If you've never had internet from Comcast, you can sort of sign up. They'll give you 2 months for free, and then it's $9.95 plus tax after that. So very critical for parents. So if grandparents, care providers, grandparents, and parents, and whoever is out there that might be watching, if they know somebody that does not have an electronic device, let us know. Waiting for a list from the superintendent, from the school department, of those students that have not responded. And we'll go door to door to find out where they are, and if how do we get them connected, get them on the internet, and how do we get that device into their hands. And we do have a small percentage of students that, for some reason, just haven't responded. So we want to get to them. I'll continue to go over some of this information. I'll go over those numbers again. Listen, it's not time to raise the the flag here, the white flag, and it's an all-out, but it is time to start thinking about planning, right, for what the other side of this looks like for you and for your business and for your students, right? So we all want to get prepared. The time to prepare isn't, a day or two before. So Leominster numbers are 30 current cases, total of 45. That's 30 cases that are actually active, 15 are released from the quarantine for a total of 45. And we're still waiting on the stay numbers, but yesterday we had 29 active and 12 off. So the comparison from, it's confusing. So the 30 current cases versus the 29 cases from yesterday. So there were 15 off yesterday, 12 off today. So pretty consistent with yesterday and the days before. It seems to be going up 1 or 2 at a time. So the fastest way to get your stimulus check, well, let's talk about that real fast. If IRS already has your information for direct deposit, and they can do so by making that direct deposit, they will. You don't have to do anything. If you didn't do your 2019 taxes, guilty. They will use 2018, and if you do not have automatic deposit, then you can sign up for it. Go into the IRS website. And if you don't want to do anything, you just want to wait for the check to come and you're not in a hurry, just wait for it and they'll send it to you. In the meantime, if you get a phone call from somebody that says, I'm from the IRS, just hang up the phone. Yep, just hang up the phone because it's a scam. As soon as anybody says the words IRS, letters IRS, it's hang up time. I'm going to just go to this quick slide here. If you can bring me to the stimulus slide. I'll go through them real quick here, just so you can see. There you go. There's the criteria. Adds additional time for unemployment, $600 a week extra on top of your base amount that workers receive from the state, and that's boosted payments by the last 4 months. So there's some of the criteria. All of this information is on our Facebook, leominster-ma.gov. Again, it's some more information. This is for businesses. There's a couple different components. There's 3 programs. One is the Paycheck Protection Program. One is the Economic Injury Loan. And the other one is the Emergency Economic Injury Grants. The best thing to do is I think it was Nikki that was on the webinar today and is learning a lot more about the details of this funding. There seems to be, and I expected, a lot of frustration for businesses in terms of trying to make these different programs applicable to your business. And so there's much more for us to understand. So SBA.gov or NorthCentralMass.gov, or you go to our website where we have a really good, a pretty impressive document that's done by the Senate Committee on Economic Development or Small Business and Entrepreneurship. and they try to help you out and do the whole Q&A for you. So if you have a minute and you have a business in town, by all means, check into that. There's more information on the breakdown of how those trillions of dollars are going to be spent. Again, my own opinion, I think at the end of this, the only thing that's really going to help the whole country, it's the only one thing I can think of, is some sort of a transportation plan that goes from one end of the country to the other. Roads and bridges are in bad shape, and I think the faster we can gravitate to that kind of a system, I'm not sure what happens to the real estate market, don't know what happens to all those new hotels in Boston that are going up and new apartment buildings across the state, but I do know people are going to need jobs. And the unemployment rate is high, and I'm not sure what it'll be in 6 months. I think the rule of thumb that I've read so far is that for every day that the economy is down, it is 11 to 15 days to get back on our feet. So if you figure this is going to be a 60-day process minimum, it could be longer, then you take 60 and multiply it by 15 to be on the conservative end. And that's how long it would take us to sort of get our engines going again. But still, at the end of that time, that extra 6 or 8 or 10 months, we're really not sure what that's going to look like. So just my 2 cents from my little vantage point here in 01453, that it would really be a huge help to get at least to start having conversations about a transportation bill, because it would help everybody. Now, the issues across the table for many people, different. Milwaukee thinks different than than somewhere in Georgia, and some town in Mississippi thinks different than Auburn, Maine, and Leominster, Mass, and all the way down the line. And that's some of the things they'll have to work out, but it is much needed. Stimulus package will go here, and then we'll talk about veterans projects. Again, I can't stress this enough. There are a number of veterans in town and or their wives, and they are eligible for assistance. This isn't something that they are begging for or asking for. These are items that they actually are owed to them, right? I mean, this is something they compromised or gave up their freedom and job opportunities and to serve and protect us. They've done a good job, and our country is better for it, but they're eligible for assistance, and they do assistance, but they haven't applied. So families, friends, sit down and talk to those vets or their wives about exactly whether or not they've applied. Sometimes people think it's a matter of filling out forms. They'll do all of that for you at the Veterans Center. They'll do it by phone. We'll do it by mail at this point, and then in person later on. Okay, those leaves, I'm having a contest to see who can take a picture with the most leaves by the curbside. And if you win, email or send me those pictures. April 6th through 30th on regular trash day. They're doing, Leominster Water Department is flushing hydrants in the Grant Street area, side streets of Jamestown, Pleasant Street, Grant Street, all those side streets up there, and that's where we are now. Help for resources, consider giving blood, 1-800-RED Cross. Check out the library.org website for everything you can ever imagine that'll keep you busy. It's going to rain maybe tomorrow or Thursday. People won't be out as much, and so good opportunity to download some movies and music and books, right? Good day to stay home and read. Free Wi-Fi at the rear of the library. Just look for LEO, lib guest, so Leominster basically library guest. There is no password. Don't forget the bear hunt. Over 300 bears across the city. Bears addresses can be found on City of Leominster Facebook page. To add your address, contact Nikki Peters at npeters@leominster-ma.gov. And we have a few tablets left at City Hall. If your kids need a tablet, you want they're out for loan. And just give us a buzz, 978-534-7500, extension 0. These are pretty cool little devices, too. So a couple left. Registry of motor vehicle, they're not allowing walk-in. I just want to keep repeating it. One thing I notice about cable TV and our Facebook accounts is that some people tune in at different times. There is no set time. Even though we do this at 9 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, there's no set time when people can tune in. They're doing other things. They're coming and going, whatever it might be. So We're up to 330 bears, Nikki said. Come on, let's get it to 400 and 500. So anyway, if you're going to the registry, call 857-368-8000. And commercial driver's license or permits, some of the registration and medical IDs. If you need those things, then you might have to go. But call anyway, because they're going to want to tell you whether or not you should come in. Call first, check, and then decide later. Okay, tomorrow's Wednesday, and I'm not sure what the story is on growing places. Saw them coming off of Route 2 today with their little portable trailer there, the little fruit stand. And United Way is beginning to offer assistance to different organizations. And so we'll get more information on that. They're also accepting donations. And I will say, based on that, if you can give locally, and nothing against these other statewide projects and fundraisers that they're having, but from my experience in the past, it's been a lot of hype. They raise a lot of money, and then when the money gets distributed, very little of it comes back to this area. So give locally. I'm just telling you that based on experience, and it's not to sort of poke at anyone else's fundraising efforts, but if you have an opportunity to give locally, then give locally. Growing Places tomorrow will be at the Leominster Senior Center parking lot from 11 to 12:30, and then the corner of Mechanic Street, Laurel Street at 3:30 to 4:30. They accept SNAP and HIP eligible. Catholic Charities also, they're doing Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 8:30 to 4:30 by appointment, and you do need to call them at 978-840-0696. And then Ginny's is open from, from 10 to 1 on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. The Are You OK program, if you'd like to sign up for it at the police department, we check on elders and shut-ins and every day, and if they don't answer, we go check on them. So 978-534-7560, extension 3432. Here we go, boot camp, right? Wash your hands, boot camp. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Assume that you have the virus. Assume everybody you come in contact with has the virus. Assume that everything that you've touched or come in contact with has been compromised. And so wash your hands and use some sort of alcohol-based product like hand sanitizer to clean your hands when you can't get near a sink. But it really is, the important part is wash your hands. And I said this morning, people run around with these gloves, and they take the gloves off, and they throw them on the ground, but before they do, they touch the front door, they go inside and touch everything in the store, they touch apples and pears and stuff in the produce section, then they touch the meat packages, and then they come outside and take these things and throw them on the ground. Now, I don't know what the purpose is of walking around the store with the gloves. My thing would be, just don't touch anything else, right, until you can get to a sink, and then wash your hands. So, but anyway, I'm not going to argue with anybody. Stay home if you're sick, right? Took my temperature this morning as soon as I got in, make sure I was okay. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. Clean things frequently. This is going to be the new us from here on in, right? The world's changing. We're not letting this go. We're conditioned now. We've been through boot camp. And think ahead about caring for you and your family, right? Check Ginny's Pantry. Saw earlier that they're doing delivery only starting Thursday. Must call in for information. Okay, thank you, Pamela. So we'll try to find out about that tomorrow. So you're saying they're only doing deliveries on Thursdays, so they won't be there on Thursdays. Okay, we'll find out, and we'll let you know 9 o'clock tomorrow morning when we're there. And here are some of the people that we are have made donations to us, some of the businesses, doctors, whatever. And I think I have to update the list. I think Dr. Brian McDowell gave me an updated list, and I will get that to you, Wendy, so that you can update that list. But thank you. So many more to add to it. And after all of this, we want to make sure we recognize and thank everyone. Senior shopping hours, call ahead to your grocery store or whatever it is. They have special hours. Restaurant takeout, delivery. This is one way that you can help those local businesses. Even buy a gift card. Give it to somebody that might be struggling. Give it to some of your employees, whoever it might be. Have a little raffle, right, at work. If you're still having to work, have a little raffle, and every day you give out a gift card from one of the local businesses. But takeout and delivery, go to our website, leominster-ma.gov, and you find a list of everybody that's participating. But listen, look at this. I mean, this is amazing. Probably more than any other city around here. So that's takeout and delivery. Okay, lots of questions about this. So how do I explain it? But there are, if there are certain licenses in Leominster that allow for pouring alcohol in restaurants. So if you're one of them, you can start to sell beer and wine, 192 ounces of malt beverage and 1.5 liters of wine. They have to be sealed. The person delivering them has to be over 21. The person receiving them has to. The restaurant needs to keep a sales receipt and documentation. And this is from 12 to midnight. So that's pretty clear. Again, this is on our website, but the restaurants now that are offering it pretty much up to speed on it and know what they need to do. My name's Dean Mazzarola, Mayor for the City of Leominster, and we meet each and every day at 9 in the morning and then mostly 4 in the afternoon for the most part, and we just try to take all of the information that overwhelms you all day long, and we try to boil it all down and share with you the information that you need to know as it relates to you and your front door, your street, your community. We realize that, people are going to want to get out. I saw some, in Boston have done so many restrictions. I know Everett and some other communities really have had some problems with people cooperating. So I think we went above and beyond down at the Johnson Street playgrounds. And so at the Johnson Street playground, we kept stopping by and explaining to everybody that, 2 people playing basketball isn't the end of the world, but you can't have full-fledged games. So we had to kind of shut that down today. But the rest of the park is open. We want you to get out. You're going to need to get out if you're going to keep your sanity and keep a balanced, healthy life. At some point, you're going to need to get out. This isn't a vacation, but getting out to get some fresh air, to exercise a little bit. But some complaints, some of the things that we've seen at the cemeteries, yoga and kids running through the burial grounds, and not some things that are so respectful. So please, if you're going to the cemetery, have it be because you are there to visit somebody. If you're going through and you're walking, that's fine, but common sense applies here. And if you don't use it, we'll remind you. But we don't want to close off all these areas. Our 26 miles of hiking trails are open. Some of them are rather busy, but people seem to be keeping their distance, and that's a good thing. But we have, so many other parks in the city. We want you to take advantage of it. But definitely, if you haven't, and you can, check out our trails, leominster-ma.gov. Click on trails, and you'll find they have some great maps in there and information. And even if you want to sign up for the Leominster Trail Stewards, they could use your help. I did do a lot of the work that's out there, and we thank them. They work hard. And it's all not just for them, but it's to share with the community. So maybe you want to find out some information on our website about the Leominster Trail Stewards and how you can help them to maintain and preserve and promote the trails in not only Leominster, but the area. Don't forget, we're going to bug you right to the end. Now more than ever, I love that. No, I don't. More than ever, we need to fill out that census. It's really going to matter now, and we've got to get that filled out so we get all the necessary funding that should be coming towards us. I'll read off those numbers one more time, but I want to remind you that not only we do this on Leominster.tv, WLTV, but we also do this, you can catch this all day long. They do periodic updates. And WLPZ 95.1, your information source, and streamlining on WLPZ.org, or you can go onto their Facebook page and it'll tell you everything you need to know. But it's a city-owned, all-volunteer, and the whole place is run by volunteers, and they work very hard to supply you with all kinds of cool music. And speaking of cool music, if you're absolutely bored tonight and has nothing to do, and you end your arm wrestling competition and you put Candyland away, clear out the kitchen, because from 6 to 7 tonight, Disco Dino returns to play all your favorite disco hits. And you know what? I know it sounds corny, but I guarantee you, if you start listening, you're not going to change the dial, because it's all music, not only that I played and spun records at the time, but it's music that you've heard over the years that they use it for when they go to commercial break during all kinds of sporting, activities, and the car commercials love to use it. It's all that music, and oftentimes I'll have somebody say, wow, that's a cool little song. I wonder what the name of it is. And I said, that's the song from 1978. It's not new. So anyway, we will be up and running at 6 to 7 o'clock. Sonny's download all the music so we can get in there and start spinning right away. Again, 95.1 FM and WLPZ.org. So if you can't get it and you live in the wrong part of the city, just jump on your phone or electronic device and hit WLPZ.com. I don't know, people are having discussions about what they're eating tonight. Good. Cheese plates, cheeseburgers, and fish and chips. Good stuff. So one more time before I leave, and thank you again for watching. For all those that are on the front lines, we can't thank you enough. We thank you, we thank you. Believe me, we thank you. I know that physicians that have gone to medical school and those in nursing schools and nurses' assistants and everybody, home health care, never envisioned this. I mean, I never could have dreamt that I'm going to drive down the street and everyone's going to have a mask on or whatever it might be. And everything would be closed. Every day would be like Sunday. I can't tell. When I wake up in the morning, I'm not sure what day it is, right? But it all seems like Sunday. So anyway, let's go to the numbers one more time. And I'll try to get this straight here. Leominster residents who have tested positive thus far, this is all the way up from the very beginning, 45. As of yesterday, well, 29 plus 12, I guess. So there are 30 current cases testing positive for the virus, and yesterday was 29, so it went up. And then there were 15 released today, and there were 12 yesterday. So it's pretty much the same as it was. And I will let you know that the city is in full, I mean, we're doing all the things that we always do. DPW's out there working, police and fire. We're doing all the things that we do and then more. I want to thank our team. We have an outstanding team. Everybody's working together. Everybody's being patient with each other. And it's really, it's a nice feeling to know that we're prepared and not panicked. And that's been the theme since the very beginning of this, and we'll follow it through. So there's our COVID-19 emergency update. Again, thank you to everybody. And you know, start thanking everybody, and it gets to be a long list, and then you forget somebody. So public safety, the medical world, fire, EMS, everyone who's working hard, working as a team. Nobody says that's not my job or not my department. Delivering meals to kids who can't get to one of the school sites, and our employees going out to bring those lunches to some of the housing developments in town so that kids who can't make it to one of the schools to get it can get it. And everybody's working as a team. No one's complaining. And I'm pretty proud to be the mayor of this city. And thank you, each one of you, for what you're doing, because this really is the whole team. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow morning at shop at 9:30 from my office or maybe somewhere else. But again, thank you for watching. Tonight, 6 to 7, WLPZ 95.1. Don't miss it. It'll be another 30 or 40 years before we do it again, and I'm not sure I'll be around to do it. Okay, good night. Thank you.